As one of the biggest suppliers for car manufacturers in the world, Magna is also the leading powertrain supplier. We will now have a closer look at 3 of Magna's all-wheel drive systems and how they behave on slippery grounds. We asked Magna's engineers to explain their systems.
We are in Cadillac CT6, which has Magna Powertrain's Actimax transfer case. It's a single-speed transfer case with 1300 Newton-meter torque clutch capacity. This vehicle has 3 different driveline modes: Auto or the Tour mode, Sport mode, Snow or Ice mode. When we switch the vehicle between different modes, the transfer case controller varies the amount of torque it sends to the front axle. Right now we are in Snow Ice mode, and this is a mode where the vehicle will understeer more and a lot of torque goes to the front axle. So if we tip into throttle, we can see that the radius of the circle increases. This happens because 60% of the input torque into the transfer case is sent to the front axle, and this causes the vehicle to understeer. Now if we switch the transfer case into the Sport mode, only 20% of the torque goes to the front axle. And if we tip into throttle now, we can see that the vehicle rear end wants to come around. The vehicle oversteers, giving the vehicle a sporty feel. It's a lot easier to hold the drift in this mode, and it is essentially a mode that you can use when you're doing some track racing sort of maneuver. The third mode is the Tour mode, which is an intermediate between the Sport mode and the Snow Ice mode. In this mode, 40% of the input torque is sent to the front axle. So when I tip into the throttle in this mode, the vehicle is more of a neutral steer. It does not oversteer too much, and it does not understeer too much, and can be used for day-to-day driving.
Okay, so we're just going to start. We're going to demonstrate the different modes on our active transfer case in the GMC pickup truck. The 4 different modes we have available are 2 high, 4 high auto, 4 high lock, and 4 low. We're going to do a slalom course in the beginning in 2 high, and we have all the torque going to the rear axle, which will give us a lot of oversteer with the vehicle. Hard to control. And lots of oversteer. We just ran through the short slalom in the 2-wheel drive position, and we will now shift our transfer case to the 4 high auto position. So we will send different amounts of torque to the front axle depending on the wheel slippage of the rear axle, which will give us a lot more traction now that we have 4-wheel drive. So we'll run through the same slalom at approximately the same speed. Notice we have a lot less oversteer, very controllable, almost to a little point of understeer. Throttle on right now, very controllable, very seamless application of the power to the front axle. And we'll do a 4 high lock position. We're going to split the torque 50-50 between the front and rear axles in this mode. And what we'll see is probably just a little more understeer. Same speed through the slalom, a little more understeer on the front end. Torque is not being modulated in this mode. It's strictly a 50-50 lock split. Okay, our last mode, which is used mostly for off-road use in low speeds, is the 4 low position. It's a low lock position. Similar to high lock, torque split is 50-50, but we're running now at a 272-to-1 gear ratio. So we'll have higher engine RPM, more torque at lower speeds. And you can see we're already up into third speed on the transmission. Very similar handling as the high lock position, little understeer on the corners.
Okay, this car has the front wheel based four-wheel drive, and our Dynamics coupling is mounted on the rear differential. So we taking out the torque from the powertrain and transfer to the rear differential. So this vehicle has the 3 different modes: normal, eco, and sport. I'm gonna drive the normal first. So slalom course. Still normal mode. I'll try one more time. Smooth, little understeer maybe. Stability control working. And then I don't wanna test eco mode, but I'm gonna try sport. And then one more time, I'm gonna try sport mode again. Dynamics coupling has 1100 Newton meter torque capacity, so and then really good response time, and we have a hydraulic system, so we don't need a speed delta to engage clutch. It's really smooth and good.
For sure, four-wheel drive systems make perfect sense on snow and ice, wet grounds and any other demanding surfaces. But you can also have a lot of fun with them.